Water parks are a lot of fun with exciting slides and rides to enjoy with family and friends. We all enjoy going down the water slides. Some water slides, however, push the excitement element a little too far, with designs that will certainly blow your mind. Here are the top 10 insanely dangerous water slides that will blow your head. Before we begin, don't forget to like and subscribe to this channel for more intriguing videos like this, and be sure to watch this video until the end. Without further ado, let's begin. Number 10. Slip and Slide. This water slide is arguably the most innocent on the list, but it's dangerous. You may have taken your children there for a trip without realizing the consequences. This slide is popular among children for a variety of reasons, even though children enjoy riding on it. It is known for harming and paralyzing youngsters and adults who leap into the slide with gusto. It may stop in a way that causes spinal cord injury, which could lead to quadriplegia or paraplegia later on. This is because the forward motion of the slide pulls the body into the neck and compresses the spinal cord. Even though the slide that causes such accidents was constructed in 1993, today's situation is no different. It lacks particularly safe regulations, just as it did many years ago. Number 9. Getting stuck. Two things should never happen on a slide: being stuck inside and being injured. If you find yourself in any of these conditions, you're in trouble. This boy got locked in the slide after the door refused to open due to malfunction. Luckily for him, a staff member discovered the emergency lever and was able to open the door. This didn't come off quickly because he tried several techniques to make it happen. The teenager kept screaming from inside that he was freezing until rescue operations were underway. They urged him to remain calm while they worked on getting him out. But who could remain calm in the face of such a challenge? And the child remained calm while he was safely removed off the slide. Number 8. Shoot the Rapids. Despite claiming to be ahead of its competitors, a 2013 mishap threw authorities off guard. Guests were on board the river rafting simulation when something went wrong. The boat they were riding on rolled back up to 187 feet down the lift track and collided with the edge of a concrete flume, colliding with another boat and flipping over, trapping occupants upside down in the water. The disaster occurred when two of the ride safety systems failed. One was designed to prohibit the boat from sliding backwards, and the other was supposed to maintain the boat on track. None of these precautions was implemented, resulting in an accident. The ride was not closed until 2016 when public pressure increased. Number 7. The Black Hole. Except for the possibility of losing your life, the Wet n Wild water park is a thrilling location to visit. This legendary park has everyone talking, especially those who have had a near-death experience. Many of the park's problems began and culminated with the Black Hole, a winding attraction that sends customers down a dark tube on a two-person float. One guy was hurt in 1994 and his injuries were severe enough that he obtained a $1.73 million judgment against the amusement park in 2000. The victim claimed he was struck by something in the dark, only to fall to the ground and have his legs immobilized. Number 6. Abrasion Scoot water slide. The edges are an important factor to consider while building a water slide. Designers are careful not to include anything with sharp edges because it might injure the rider. Yet they can't be too cautious because there may be some dangerous situations that can injure if one strikes them. For example, imagine a slide with no seams but metal rollers at an action park. Because a quick stream of water wasn't abrasive enough, someone devised a slide out of waterhouse rollers. Those who rode the Abrasion Scoot lid on the plastic sled and would pick up speed and skip through the water at the bottom like a flat stone. The difficulty with this slide was that if you weren't seated in the sled at the proper angle, you may be flung off, and the pool was only 2 feet deep, so riders frequently smashed their heads on concrete. Number 5. Vertigo water slide. Adrenaline, velocity, speed, and height are just a few of the characteristics mentioned by our most courageous customers after experiencing and feeling the Aqualandia attraction for themselves. Only the most daring park visitors dare to ride this attraction, which is hanging from a 42-meter high platform and has 250 stairs to its highest point. The height of a 13-story structure you may climb up there is a hermetic, transparent capsule. The rider is atop a trap door that opens with the push of a button controlled by our expert personnel situated at the slide starting point at the moment of the drop. From then, the free fall begins, accompanied by the matching feeling of adrenaline as you pass over the world's highest slide. The rider can slide down the attraction in just 3 seconds with a gravitational acceleration that approaches 100 kilometers per hour in the worst-case scenario. thrills are certain. Number 4. The Verruckt waterslide. Riding a waterslide is enjoyable for everyone who wants to relieve stress after a long day of work. Nevertheless, these slides are not always a good idea. The Schlitterbahn water park in Kansas City wanted to advertise to the world that they had the world's tallest slide, so they created a 170-foot-long slide named Verruckt, a feat that many other parks tried to match. Caleb Schwab, a 10-year-old child, stepped inside the roller coaster but came out without his head. It sounds terrifying, doesn't it? The state attorney filed criminal charges against the park, but the accusations were dismissed since the evidence presented in court was insufficient to prosecute the portion. The boy's family later reached a $20 million settlement, but they no longer had their kid. While this may sound like a large sum, it's nothing compared to losing a child. Number 3. Ride the Streamer water slide. Whatever you do, avoid riding the Streamer water slide. This attraction has been labeled as one of the world's most dangerous slides. It's located in the Calypso water park and has been the subject of dispute among safety experts. Over the years, the park has operated a dangerous facility while pretending not to know about it. This deception has increased the number of casualties as more people participate in the experience. Experts compare the trip to plunge into a toilet bowl, and it's been linked to multiple injuries as riders are forced to sit in tubes and circles as massive funnels before exiting through an exit slot. Until the inner tube flips over before you reach the exit, this sounds like a delightful activity for the ultimate retreat. The park was accused of concealing incriminating information by sneaking wounded riders out of the slide to heal them and advising them not to say anything about what happened. Eventually, the park was charged with 20 safety violations, which were ultimately dropped due to the lack of evidence. Calypso refused to accept responsibility for everything they were accused of, even shifting the blame to the safety inspector. Number 2. Action Park Slide. Who hasn't heard of Action Park Slide and all the fun it has to offer? This place is one of the most well-known water parks in the world. It was so notorious that it was dubbed Traction Park, or Class Action Park, and it was closed down in 1996 after 6 people were killed and many more were injured. The park lost track of the incidents because they were so frequent. It reopened in 2010, but the proprietors were unapologetic about the tragic events that had transpired there in recent years. Instead, they created shirts with the message, "I survived Action Park," as if it were a rule that everybody who went there would perish. In this park, Cannonball Falls ranked first on the list of the world's worst rides. It's a 10-foot drop into a mountain lake that was the most dangerous in New Jersey in 2015, with 6 injuries. Nevertheless, it's still quite safe when compared to the number of injuries in Action Park in 2012. To protect the lives of future riders, Cannonball Falls was permanently closed before the end of the 2015 season. Number 1. Aquasphere waterslide. No matter how close a family is, they will never enjoy their vacation if it is spent in the hospital's emergency room. Having said that, families should do their homework before deciding on the best vacation place at the Peninsula Aquatic Recreation Center. Parents can observe their defenseless children being treated for injuries received while riding a slide. The park features a couple of legendary drops that have been related to numerous accidents on one occasion. 2 riders struck their heads within the slide's tunnel and sustained brain injuries. The slide was closed for 10 months before reopening, although an accident involving a woman occurred just a few days later. After riding the Aquasphere, a lady felt significant back pain, and another child slid off the tube and was beaten around the head before being injected. According to witnesses, the youngster was unconscious for 15 minutes. While the facility opened for business in September 2014, the slide did not open because some of the personnel who tested it had minor injuries, proving that the slide was not safe for people. It was later removed and rebuilt to follow normal procedures. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please like it and subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on another wonderful video from us. Until next time.